Hey, welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and in this video we're going to replace the expansion tank on this Mark II Ford C-Max. This is quite a straightforward job, but one that's vital to stop your vehicle from overheating. So grab your tools and let's get fixing. So in this opening clip, this coolant bottle is from a different Mark II C-Max. This is a bit dark when I film the main footage of this video. So as you can see, these are the connectors, and this is the part we'll be removing later on in the main part of the video, if I show you this footage in the daylight. So I'm going to start by removing the hose clamps here. There's 3 of them on this in total, and I'm using a pair of hose clamp pliers. You can just use a pair of regular pliers, I just happen to have these, so I'm going to use them. They make it a bit easier for getting these off. They can be a bit stubborn sometimes, especially when they haven't been moved for a while. You can see, just pull them down, and then you just need to wiggle them off the end of the pipe, so it's getting a bit dark here. I just filmed this quite late at night, and yeah, it's just generally a bit dark. There will be a bit of dribble out of the coolant system. If you can, drain the tank first. I did have the option here because it had a little hairline crack in it and it had already leaked out most of it. There's a bit more left in it because the driver topped it up before he got to me. But yeah, just quickly take the next one off. And yeah, they're very simple. They're going to do this in real time so you can see how long it actually takes to remove this. It's not overly long. Some of them are a bit tougher than others. And a good trick with all the hose pipes is to give them a good twist. You need to remove them, just working back and forth like you see me do here. And the 2 little ones are quite easy to get off. The bottom one's a bit harder. I'm going to get my pliers in here now and just give it a gentle wiggle with them, just to make it a bit easier. Yeah, if you're a bit stuck, you give it a bit of a twist with the pliers. Try not to damage the hose, that's why I'm using the hose clamp pliers. They do a really good job at this too. And there will be a link to the video I made on the pliers in a previous video. And yeah, we just work them out, and we'll get these up. We'll get the last one off, and yeah, just got to remove the clamp. Now here's the final clamp we're going to get off. Just trying to clamp up the hose pipe to stop the main water draining out. Got a pair of hose clamps here. Again, another video on these two, they'll be linked in the description. And this is just to stop mainly the water leaking back out the pipe while I'm fitting the new one in. You shouldn't have to worry too much, but if the little maintenance bits of this just helps you protect from air getting in the system and makes your job a bit easier in the long run. Like I said, just get the hose clamp pliers on there again and work this bottom hose clamp off. I forgot to mention at the start of the video that you need to remove this washer filling port. This simply just pulls out. Just give it a wiggle and it pulls out nice and easily. I won't remove this one, but I just want to show you that. And yeah, now we're going to remove the last coolant pipe here. Get your clamps on it. And this is quite a simple job really once you get this last one out. Obviously you want to be careful not to damage this if you're removing this expansion tank to service the mount underneath, which is a job that you have to do sometimes. But yeah, just be careful. Like I said, there is a mount underneath it, so if you need to remove this for that purpose, just be careful of the pipes and coolant tank, or expansion tank should I say. Once all the hoses are removed, all you have to do is lift the tank up and pull it towards the centre of the engine, and it'll pop out nice and easily. Sorry about that, the dark made it quite dark, but I'm fitting the new tank in now. So simply slide back down over a little metal clip. There's a little plastic sort of union shape at the front of it, and you just slide in. I did show you at the start of the video. I will put a little highlight up of here as well, just so you can see it a bit more closely. And yeah, you just slide down and push it in, back into place. Once it's back in, you start putting the hoses back on. This tank was a bit more wiggly than the other one. It wasn't quite this OE spec, but it does fit nicely in the end. It's just not as secure. I think mainly because the hoses on it. As the hoses go back on it, it gets a bit more secure. And yeah, just simply slide the old hoses back on. They go on relatively easily, especially on the new one. If you do find they're a bit stuck, you can always use a bit of washing up liquid to help them slide back on. Sometimes these new tanks aren't made quite the right specs, so they're a bit bigger on these parts. This one seemed to fit fine. And you just use your clamps or your pliers just to pull them back up and put the clamps back in the right place. Try and line them back up with the witness marks already on the hoses, makes it a bit better. But if you can't, don't worry about it too much. Once you get it in place, just make sure it's nice and secure. Like I said, by using the witness marks on the hoses already, it just makes it a bit easier to know that you're on the right spot and everything's secure as it should be. And yeah, now we're just going to put the next hose back on. Again, this is a relatively straightforward process. It's simply removing 3 hoses and then taking the old tank out and putting the new tank back in and then topping it back up with fluid. Luckily, because you're not actually draining the system out, you don't have to worry about air getting too low in the system. Obviously still do your checks when you get to that point, but because it's higher above the main part of the system, it's the main filling point, you should be alright as long as you don't let the water drain out the hoses. Especially the bottom hose that we put the clamp on earlier. And yeah, just a bit of adjustment to get these in the right spot. And then we'll get the final hose back on once we get this last one lined up. Again, it can be a bit tricky and a bit fiddly. These constant pressure clamps are notoriously difficult sometimes. Some people take them off and replace them with Jubilee clips. I don't recommend that. These clamps expand when the vehicle gets hot and the pressure gets hot. The Jubilee ones do not do that. Or the worm drive ones, they say as well. They're the same. You want to use the right clamp for the right job. And they're relatively easy to work with. Especially the smaller ones. You can do these with a pair of ball nail pliers or needle nail pliers. But like I said, I just happen to have these hose clamp pliers on me. And I've done a video on them before. And they're pretty handy little things for this sort of job. And yeah, you just have to keep working it on now. There we are. And that's the last clamp on. And yeah, we now just get on the filling up stage of this lovely job. You see my torch is doing a very good job at lighting things up. And yeah, now we're going to fill it back up with some antifreeze or coolant, depending on what you want to use. So there's the tank in the right place. And now I've put a little top up to fill it on. There's a whole video on how to fill your coolant system I've done. I'll link that too in the description so you can see that. Yeah, basically you have to fill up. Sorry about it being so dark here. Unfortunately, like I said, it was quite late at night when I filmed this. And yeah, I'm just topping it up now. And there'll be a bit of boost footage in a minute. And there we are, as you can see. It's now full up. I'm just giving the hose a bit squeeze to make sure, a bit of a squeeze to make sure there's no air in the system. Or to get as much out as possible. And then we'll run it up to temperature and just purge it as normal. And burp the system. And there we are, just checking for any leaks to make sure there's no leaks on any of the pipes. And yeah, then we'll just reattach the cap. And that's the job done basically. So you should see that in just a moment, the cap going back on. There we are. And that's how you change the expansion tank on a Mark II Ford C-Max. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.